now with our NES practitioner group, and we apologize being a few minutes late, but technology. We're good to go now, and we're just going to wait a
Perfect.
couple minutes and see if anybody give people a couple minutes to join in with us.
How do we see? I'm in this group called NES Learn. Is that where we should appear there?
This practitioner group, you should probably be able to see it.
I'm on the practitioner group. I don't see it. Oh, there we are. Look, there's 2 people, 3 people. Very exciting. 4 people.
Really exciting.
Well, we should make a song and dance for a while.
Yep.
Can everyone hear us properly?
People in, yeah. Unfortunately, I was hoping I would be able to sort of see who's coming in. So maybe you can keep an eye on that end of things, Harry.
It doesn't tell me. It doesn't say anything on this end.
All right. Well, lovely. Earlier we were able to. Oh, there's all good.
He says all good. All right. We'll just assume everything is all good. How about that?
Yeah, so she can hear us. Then that means. Oh yeah, I'm seeing. I'm seeing all good notice here. So we can just chat for a moment, but I don't want to dive too deep. Let's start with some of the other stuff that we can then jump into Energy4Life at the end, and that way we can get to the good stuff when we have a few people on with us. So let me just throw out some of those announcements real quick as we get opening up. Want to make sure everybody knows we've been sending out some emails and Facebook notices, but we want to make sure everybody understands that we are moving to a new portal look, and we are hoping that it's a much better look, a much better user experience, and
it's much more shadizzled. Would be a good word.
That's a great word because I've never
bedazzled. That's the normal word, isn't it?
If you go into my account in the old layout, it will give you an option to upgrade to the new layout. And don't worry, you'll be able to go back and forth between them if you need to. But a little caveat on that, if you go back and forth, you're going to move your clients also back and forth between the 2 looks. So check out the new look. If you like the new look, start using it. If for any reason you don't like it right away and you feel like you need to go back to the old, you can. But eventually we're going to be just using the new layout. So do get familiar with it. And your best friend for everything we're going to be talking about tonight is practitioner tips and tools inside your portal. There are several new lessons, lots of videos in these lessons all about the new portal and how to walk through it and where everything is and the other types and the other things that we're going to talk with you about tonight. So make sure you check out practitioner tips and tools so you know what's going on. And then
cool.
You'll have
maybe we should just mention why it's been bedazzled.
It's been bedazzled.
It's been bedazzled. Basically, it's been bedazzled for the clients because the client portal and the client experience was actually considerably worse than the practitioner portal and experience. And basically, we wanted to upgrade. We wanted to bedazzle the client experience because obviously they're obviously everyone's customers in the end. And a great lot of thinking has gone into basically their user experience, the type of things that will be useful for them and their information and all that stuff, which I guess as a practitioner you can't see that end, but it's basically that same look, but obviously slightly different feature set. And I think one of the exciting things of that is a huge part of the sort of Energy4Life on this picture is basically being educated about healthier habits, which is obviously a huge part of it. And so they'll be able to access directly articles from us, soon lots of articles from all of you as well, and the Energy4Life podcast, tips of the day, which also soon will be actually tied into their scans. We have a database of healthy tips, and they'll be related to different scan items as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. But long and short, that's why we started the bedazzling project, and tonight we can all start. We could all be bedazzled.
Yes, and somebody is asking, will Life Journey be added to that new layout?
Oh,
So
absolutely. I think
isn't
it live this week or next week? It's nearly there.
No, so I'm not sure where it probably is, but what I can say is this is a course that was always meant to be a paid course, right, Harry? And what'll happen is that we're gonna make it.
Yeah, basically becomes a profit center for you to sell to your clients. So you as a practitioner will get it for free, but your clients have the choice of buying it from you, and then obviously you make money from that. The same, which other course we got? Sorry, yeah, obviously the main Energy4Life course, and over time other interrelated courses, and also people can. Well, one of the features that is on the horizon is also the ability for you to create courses, and basically a bit of a marketplace. And therefore, if you produce an amazing course that would be useful to other clients, everyone can basically benefit, and the course creator would be paid, the practitioner would be paid, company would be paid, and the clients get a great course. So basically, all on its way.
2020 and beyond is a pretty interesting journey for us all, right?
Yeah. Well, Energy4Life sort of marks a bit of a turning point, I guess. We had Provision, we had BWS, and Energy4Life is closer to a platform, and I think the timing is incredible, given that it's the end of 2019, and it's a really interesting era because we're in this era of big tech now owning all these pharmaceutical companies, where it's really hard to search for genuine, good, holistic health information on the internet these days. And basically, we were, internally in the company, we were a bit concerned about that. So we thought, well, why don't we create our own platform? Screw Facebook and Amazon and all of them. If they're going to ban anti-vax, anti-this, and all the information that people should basically have available, we thought we'd create our own platform. So really what you're seeing here is really the beginning of an overall holistic platform, where we want, obviously, you and everyone to participate in content, in articles and content creation, and be on the podcast with Nikki or me, and we'll create our own ecosystem, and there you go.
Be an amazing place for people to come and learn about health and find amazing practitioners. So,
well, that is also part of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So there's the new layout. Quick comment on some software updates. So Harry and I did one of these live streams back in May or June or something like that. We told you about some of the changes that were coming. So just so you guys know, if you are in the new portal layout and then you go into My Account, you'll be able to look at scan screen settings. That is going to allow you to choose what screens you want all your new clients to see. So you can choose and get very precise about, you want certain ones to be on and you want certain ones to be off. Depends on how you run your clinic and what you want to focus on. And then if you have certain clients who you want to override those default settings, you can go into their profile and override that. But this way you have a lot more control over that. And then the other settings within there that we've talked about, they are now available, is one, if you are not happy with dates in the recommendations screen for when people need, in the big chart, it's got dates above the infoceuticals. telling them what date to take an infoceutical. You can switch it to days 1 through 28. That is available. You can now turn on a stars screen if you prefer to see all of your stars in one place. And if you like to see the 3 axes of BFA, you can now turn that back on as well. And so that when you click on polarity or BFA, it would pop up a little screen that shows you the 3 axes and shows you grounding as well. So those are some promises we made earlier this summer, and now all of that is live for you. And we have updates coming to the nutrition and environment screens. Can't promise a date yet, but we
hope. Well, we got some interesting developments on that. As Terry Wright, who came to the conference, he does like environmental testing, where he basically tests all the chemicals in your water and household, and gives a full chemical report. Fortunately, he lives quite near Steve, but we're basically looking at ways of integrating actual real chemical testing as well, which is quite interesting. So that will no doubt influence the screens a little bit.
Yep. So updates on their way, but we're working out all those details. So just keep an eye out for that. I'm pretty sure those are going to be exciting for all of us when we roll that out. So those are some of the background things that we had to cover. And let's jump in then, Harry, to... Oh, there was one other... No, there's a couple more.
I thought you were going to say pattern recognition.
A couple more updates, yeah.
I was either going to interrupt or...
No, that's good. I'm glad you did. So
pick patterns like Peter Fraser.
Yeah, we're trying to find
patterns like Peter. The rhyme.
Patterns like Peter.
I know, Peter Pickering.
Exactly. Sorry, we're just goofing around. Yes, we've got patterns and we have intake. So, scheduling. So we've talked about intake forms before and follow-up forms, and just a comment on that, like what we've talked with people about at the conference and at foundation training, is that if you guys start engaging in the intake forms and the follow-up forms, it helps us on this new pathway we're taking to developing data for providing you more insights and deeper insights into what's going on for your clients. And so,
and also credibility for all of us, because well, we'll basically be able to show, we'll be able to write, have papers written that show people came in reporting XYZ, and 6 months later they're hopefully not reporting XYZ, but we'll have all the data to show that. And also, as Steve says, we don't know what we're going to learn, but we are going to learn incredible things.
We'll learn something, and we'll be able to share that knowledge.
And we'll be able to share, it's all, and we can see the patterns between what people have filled out in the questionnaire and what comes up in the scan. And for example, all the original research was based on matching. Well, now, going forwards, research can be basically based on these patterns in the data, which is basically it's a form of matching, because it's still it's still probability type thinking, but it's not. Well, it's basically, obviously, it's considerably more recognized by the broader world. Which, while we're a holistic platform, it does help, and it massively helps us all when you're communicating to clients, because you can show a wonderful article, a futuristic article written by Steve or Nikki or a scientist, etc. That should be able to show all of that evidence, and that obviously raises your credibility as a practitioner. So, it's good for all of us. So I really would urge for that reason. But also it's just a convenience reason, because, otherwise your records are all paper, and you don't it's really useful to know what
all that stuff is saved right into their client profile. So it's really easy for you to find it. And honestly, one of the things we want to do too is even just be able to show you in the future, just even for your individual clients or for your account overall, like how are your clients doing as they
Yeah. So someone just asked that, is there going to be reports with the forms for sure?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We haven't built those out yet, but yeah, all of it will start in what's the word? Informing. Yeah.
Right, exactly. We got to build the data first so that we have feedback to give you based on that. And thank you. I think it was Carrie said she got hers out to clients today, so that's great.
Oh, right. The voice analysis in the follow-up form. My client's given feedback. The paragraph is really long. I can't remember how long the paragraph is.
Yeah,
We need about 30 seconds really of speech. That's what it comes down to. They could count from 1 to 30. Yeah.
yeah, right. They could do anything because it's their voice. I think we had written a paragraph to get them focused on healing, kind of thing. But yes, it's not doesn't require that exactly. Um, so who's saying? Somebody's saying they love the intake. Joy, thanks. That's good feedback that she's loving that. Makes her job easier. Um, yeah, and just so you guys know, if you go into your I think you can do this within forms, but definitely you can do this within the individual client profiles. You can set the follow-up form to automatically come 28 days after each scan. So if you don't want to have to go in and manually assign them, you can do that as well. So that's not even a new feature. We're just chatting about that for a second. But one of the new features is scheduling. Um, and just be we're not going to go into detail here, but just so you know, like if you go online and look for scheduling software so clients can automatically schedule themselves with you, set up appointments with you, it's probably going to cost you about $30 a month. But within our software now, that is a new free service that you have when you're working with NES. And it is, all I'm going to say, I'm not going to get into detail, but it is super, super flexible. And I'm just going to say again, for those of you who weren't here earlier, if you can learn about all of these different things that we're talking about by going into your portal and going to practitioner tips and tools. That is where you're going to find out how to do scheduling, how to walk through the portal, the intake forms. All of this is explained in videos there. So just make sure to stop in there.
It's probably worth iterating, isn't it? Like the key, well, I say that as we're sort of slightly transitioning into this other E4L benefit picture. The other thing that we were looking at, apart from the sort of overall holistic platform part, is the reality of how much time is spent as a practitioner not actually seeing clients in scheduling, admin, invoicing, acquiring clients, marketing, basically all the other stuff that you basically have to do. Well, intake forms, all of that sort of stuff. It's around 50% of one's time, and it can honestly be worse if you don't have anyone to help you. It can be more than 50%. And so basically, one of our sort of submissions, in NES we basically have a mission of making things easier, more effective and educative. But within the easy one, we just wanted to make it as easy as possible so that you can take your 50% time and I say double it, but get to sort of 70-80% of your time is spent seeing clients. And as much as automation and technology can do for you, obviously we aim to do that for you. And obviously if you've got suggestions as you start to use these features, you're like, well, we'd love that to know if there's things that occupy your time that are really irritating that we can eliminate. God, please let us know, because this is our version of what we think is saving people's time. But who knows, we might have missed out something really obvious.
Yeah, we'll get this feedback from you guys. We'll make updates. I've just written down to update that paragraph for the voice. So I'll talk with our tech team and we'll see if we can make that a little bit easier for people to use. So yes, on that. The question on updating, modifying forms. So because this is a community effort to gather data in a very consistent way, and that's the only way that we're able to give you guys the feedback eventually that we want. there is no way to remove questions from it. So if you're going to use them, if you're going to participate in the group, there's no way to remove questions, but it is already possible to add your own questions. That should be there. So again, go into practitioner tips and tools, look on the intake form section. It should teach you how to do that. Okay. Yeah. So, and then the last one before we get to Energy for Life is as Harry mentioned, patterns. So just be aware that at the very bottom of the recommendations screen, there's a new section called patterns. This is in soft launch because the way we consider it is this is a new feature that we're exploring. We may add and remove or change patterns, but we think that this is a great way for you to immediately start picking up more complex patterns that may relate to what is going on for your clients. And everything we're talking about right now is we're going to be able to give you even more insights when we go beyond just the body field scan and start looking at other things. The patterns are going to become really powerful. So this is early.
Yeah, I mean,
early.
yeah, I'll give some more context. Yeah, well, you know, like, well, as I said, pick patterns like Peter to rhyme. To take his example, yeah, Peter used to give these, you know, amazing lectures of basically these patterns that, you know, he would find with his clients over the years and in his and in all his own testing, and there is just like, goodness no. Well, I one day I'll do a little Facebook thing of all the research. Actually, it'll be quite interesting for everyone. All the files. But basically, we have boxes and boxes of all of that research and all those notes. And but you know, none of us can. I mean, Steve's read a lot of it. I've read a lot of it, but it's, you know, it's no one can memorize all of that stuff. Let alone I don't know. You know, like Keith has all his Chinese medicine patterns, or, you know, Wendy might have functional medicine patterns, or, you know, we all have, there's so many variety of patterns that exist. So rather than have to have that knowledge, we've basically sort of coded all that in. So if those patterns appear, the system, you know, as if by magic, just tells you, and then you look rather intelligent for spotting this pattern like within the scan, but you know, secretly the algorithms does it.
But you especially look intelligent and amazing and smart because it's only on your end. So
it's only on your end. Yeah.
Clients logging in and looking from a different computer, they're not going to see it. And you know, the trick is you go and check patterns before you go through and read the scan with them. You just take a look right at it. So again, we don't have to go in too much detail, but because it's all explained under practitioner tips and tools, just go in there and learn about it. But we think it's a really cool feature. And
it's going to get more and more amazing because, you know, you'll be able to enter your own patterns and that type of stuff.
You work with a particular condition and you like to look for certain things. You'll be able to do that eventually.
Yeah. And then the other, you know, I'm not meant to talk about it, but I will. You know, as we make, you know, as we're making better hardware over time, there's basically within all of these other sensors that can also collect information off the body. You know, there's patterns in the pulse and et cetera. So it isn't just the body field scan. It'll, you know, be picking out of voice, out of pulse, out of photon emission, and possibly out of infrared spectral suits, my new latest craze. Anyway, but basically,
out of the intake forms if they're using our intake forms, right?
It's what?
And out of the intake forms if they're using our intake forms, right? Like we can match symptoms.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can also take patterns out of the intake forms, the whole lot, and make a really cohesive report. So, you know, early days, but
and one person.
It's not even that early, but yeah, you can see how we're thinking, how it's all pulling together.
Right. And one person said, is it related to that particular scan or patterns over time? It is that particular scan for now. But as you can see, there's a lot of possibilities for the future. So.
Yeah. I like the historical one because, you know, with me, I always found EI4 would come up repeatedly. but yeah, exactly. I mean, I've just observed it, but it would be lovely if it said it.
Yeah, and also, yeah, just don't be concerned if you go check it and there are no patterns. So patterns are only going to show up, for instance, if there's a lot of purples, because we only show the strong patterns, right? We're not going to show you something that isn't worth looking at. So if it's a strong pattern, it'll show up. If it's not, it's possible in some scans nothing shows up. So just start exploring it. It will develop. That's what we can say about that. So now, Harry, I know you love this.
Drum roll. Conference, didn't we?
Energy.
I know what we did at the have we? When was it? It's already been made live, right?
Yeah. The videos are available, so nobody.
What we did at the conference, I think we'll just replicate that for everyone here. We're going to pretend that we're making Energy4Life platform live for everyone right now, and then we're all going to shout at home, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we'll see my dog's bark. And now the Energy4Life platform is live for everyone. Yay! Anyway, we did that at a conference and it was quite fun. But so there we go. We've just done it in a virtual way.
All right, it's live for you guys. So what does that entail? There's two sides of it. There's the client side and the practitioner side, right? So Harry, what's new for a client that they get, that why they would actually want to do the Energy4Life program? And by the way, again, guys, everything explained about what this platform really is within all these videos. Go to Practitioner Tips and Tools. You're going to understand everything. So just as a summary, Harry,
right. So what?
They're already getting a scan. They're already getting infoceuticals for their current practitioner.
Well, there's a whole bunch of big ones. One I mentioned, on the homepage they can get direct access to the content, courses, podcasts, etc. But the main course that Nikki has produced is the Energy4Life 6-month course. So they'll basically be able to access the 26 modules over time, assuming they're in that 6-month program. And that is pretty amazing because it really does cover everything across social, body, environment, mind. And, it's quite hard to impress me, honestly, with health stuff because I've read and seen a lot of it and tried a lot of it. I read through the whole thing and have been trying out loads of it on myself, and yeah, it's great. It really is at the cutting edge of all of these different fields, and she's done an amazing job at putting all that in together for the rest of us. So thank you.
It's one of those things. Yeah, thank you, Nikki. It's one of those things, like, we can be so excited and we can go to a conference, but we don't know. Like, it seems exciting to us, but how does everybody else feel, right? And the really gratifying thing was that we had over 100 people at this conference who basically just gave us amazing feedback on it, and we're really excited about it. And I heard more of that at the foundation for people who have already been going through the course. So people really are feeling it's very thorough, and it is going to help their clients. And so basically you are now giving them content as well as what you were talking about, some of the other assessments earlier, right, Harry? And so Energy4Life clients will be exclusively being able to access some of the additional assessments that we're working on.
Yeah, and I'd say the other thing a client can get, which I think is quite nice, they've never actually had their own client shop before, so they'll basically be able to buy feel-good infoceuticals, but obviously it's all registered to your accounts. That you get your wholesale, whichever is the wholesale margin between retail and wholesale, and it's a little early, and I shouldn't really be announcing anything early, but we basically plan to add what I would call bioenergetic lifestyle products to basically support their ecosystem. So things like there's a whole basically bunch of peripherals that the My Health will be able to plug into, from air ionizers, so you can imprint a whole room via My Health PMF mats, infrared sort. Well, I think it's going to be like a body battery charger, but I don't want to get anyone too excited. But there's going to be a few interesting things to turn up into the portal over the next year, which is going to be great for everyone. So yeah.
And sorry for some of you are saying we're freezing, and others are saying we're not freezing. So apologies if that's happening for you. Yes, Russ, practitioner tips and tools. Yeah, it is working fine for them. So refresh screen. Yeah, maybe refresh if you are having a hard time.
Well, actually, I'm looking at it now, and yeah, we are frozen on the reality. Yeah, it is frozen.
Well, that's no good. Let's keep going, and hopefully it should be recording anyway. So
Is it definitely recording?
it should be.
Outside of Facebook.
It should be, yes.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
we'll keep going just in case.
If it's terrible, yeah, we'll just repost. Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yes. So that's what they're getting basically from a client side. And let's talk about what practitioners get that's a little bit new for them. So one of the things they get is video conferencing, which just it simplifies. That's just one small thing that I mentioned in the beginning because it's easy to like forget about that one. But video conferencing, if you are working as a remote coach, is often this stuck that you have where you think somebody should be able to find a button and they push a button and connect with you and they're having a hard time. So we've made it really simple for you to connect with your clients through video when you're doing remote coaching. But there's much bigger things than that you get as an Energy4Life practitioner, like what, Harry?
Sorry, I was just reading all the freezing stuff. I was just trying to figure out if we were freezing or not. What did you ask me?
I'm just saying, what else does a practitioner really get when they become Energy4Life qualified with us?
Oh, well, I was still on the client side, but on the practitioner side, well, they get basically their very own Energy4Life website, which, again, like one of the hardest things in setting up a practice or owning a practice, full stop, is basically all the frigging marketing. Working out all those lovely sales pages, the content. How does a scan work? What are infoceuticals? Like how to package up like your business as like a 6-month program or a 1-to-1 consultation, etc. So basically Energy4Life, basically the Energy4Life website. So you have energy4life.com / Jane. You have your own profile. That's basically your own website where all of that is done for you. So that's a big one. Shall I move on, or do you want to comment on that before I move on?
The only thing I would comment on that is also understand that by having us work on this website, like what we have right now is the first website that we roll out. Like we're going to keep working on making improvements to content, to the look of it. We've already taken some feedback and we're already reacting to it. So it's kind of like you have your own web developers at zero cost. So that's a really nice feature to it as well. So we'll work on continuing to improve the web experience.
Yeah, and I think we're allowed to announce this. So the director of marketing of McCardell.com just joined the company. I say joined the company today. He signed his contract today, and Steve doesn't even know he signed today. So there's news for Steve. He's joining in January. Long story short, basically, we're basically marketing is going to be shit hot. Let's leave it at that. Anyway, he really knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing on online of making amazing content sites. So
well, not only that, very, very good cultural fit with us. We're very excited for him to be joining us because we think he brings a lot that will be in alignment with the company and its goals and with our practitioners. So,
yeah,
yep.
perfect. Cool. So yeah, I think, well, the other side on that is within the Energy4Life website, one of the ways that people can, I guess the ways people can acquire clients is using something called like a lead magnet, which basically means something you give away so a prospect can become educated about what you're doing, and then they read something or watch something, and they're like, oh my goodness, I get it. Yes, please, scan, sign me up, done. It's easy as that. And Steve actually here has basically written this right here called Energy4Life. So the Energy4Life book, and basically you'll be able to give I say give that away. You'll be able to give it away for the price of shipping. And anyway,
Give away for free a digital version of it,
and you can give away totally free a digital version of it. So you can use that for like acquiring clients, and all of that is basically built in, so you don't need to think about it because it's just built in within your own mini website. So that's pretty cool.
Not only that, what I love about this is that your clients will be able to give it away too. We're working on that functionality right now, but once we have it all in place, your clients will be able to give away the book to other people that they think would enjoy it. And if those people end up setting up an account, they're going to be connected to you. So this is a way for you to go viral. And to me, this is like the biggest thing that just makes this. I don't know. For me, I love it because I'm totally into educational marketing, not like hard sales pitches or whatever. Like, I love educating people because then they're either in resonance with it or they're not. And if they are, they want to join, right? They want to take part.
And it's perfect that it's come from basically a friend or family member. I mean, so I guess, for example, let's say, you've been treating, I'll use Jane as another example. You've been treating Jane or working with Jane, and she just loves it, and she knows, she's got this nephew over there, in another, wherever it is, she's got a nephew who's got whatever health issue it is, and she just knows if that nephew, understood what you did, of course they're going to want to see you, but you're, how would I put it? Like, your client doesn't want anything out of it. They just want to help their nephew. So basically, they're able to get the book to the nephew, and the nephew reads it. And as Steve says, they're either in resonance or they're not. But if people take the time to read the book, then then they're also in an email sequence. They they obviously go through. They can watch some of our movies too, etc. And then they come to a place and they're like, and they probably ring up. I'm sure they'll ring up their friend and go, well, what is it like being with I can't say Jane again, can I say Rose or someone, Rose, as a practitioner. And of course they're going to say, oh no, they're amazing, my eczema cleared up or whatever. And then boom, you got a client and you didn't do anything. So it's basically a way of orchestrating referrals. And, again, obviously, there's going to be little nuances, within that as we see how it actually rolls out in practice. But and again, the more feedback we get, because obviously if we can automate orchestrating referrals for everyone, that's just amazing. And anyway, that's our goal. That's what we want to do for everyone. And anyway, looking forward to everyone's help with that.
That is, and Russ, thank you for the feedback on the book. We hope lots of people love it. And also, I think it's Rebecca. Yeah, Rebecca. That outside our purview for the moment. I do know that we are looking at things for for my health, we will be looking at solutions, and I can always bring that up with Todd, your request on ear clips or something like that. So we'll take a look at that. This home office not. So Linda,
that may be in like the first few days after the conference. I think there was a glitch that's got fixed, but they definitely don't end up as leads as NES these days.
Right. So Linda,
glitched for like 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know, Linda, if you can let us know if that was recent or like right after the conference or something like that. We think we have everything fixed and that those leads are working properly, but obviously if there's any glitches, we want to know and fix it because we want that to be, working for you guys. We want those to be your leads. So, Jill, slides from the conference. Yeah, all the videos are in there with the slides. And I'm working on a new, so if you're talking about the conference versus foundation material, videos, and slide information is going to be coming out soon. Should be this month. So I'm working on finalizing some of those things. Okay.
Cool. I guess we'll go back to some other cool things. I think we already talked a bit about like creating your own articles and blogs.
We should emphasize that. I think that's important for them to understand what you can do.
Yeah. So, a massive way that all the really big practitioners, with good online presence, they're basically getting all their clients because they have well-written articles on the web. So what we've done within your own replication site is you can basically create your own, or you can basically write your own articles, videos, etc. No, articles, I think you can't do. Don't think you can do video yet, but yeah, you can basically write your own articles, and those articles basically get searched by Google, etc., and therefore bring in traffic to your replication site, and then obviously from there they can opt in to get the book, get educated, become a client. So yeah, it's super important to it's just with all the time that we've freed up from scheduling, invoicing, like all this other stuff, use some of that time for writing articles, and then the great thing, if you do a really good article, it stays there forever. So if you put in a couple of days or a day or whatever it is, a day into writing an amazing article, it's there forever. Versus advertising and all of that, which obviously you keep having to pay out with advertising.
Yeah, make it a high quality article. And then the other side of that too, Harry, is that it's not just Google where they can find it. So that's the beauty, is that if people come to the main Energy for Life website, not your independent website, right? But they do a search on Energy for Life and your article shows up in the search results, you can pull them over to your version of the website. Is that right, Harry?
Yeah, and it is. And in that manner, the competition is ridiculously low right now because no one's created any articles yet. So if I would say for everyone who's listening to this, before like newsletters and every single practitioner in the world knows, like over the next month or two, basically, that what's you call it? There's basically a first mover advantage. So yeah, get your articles written, and there's. We could write up some guidelines. I'm sure we will. There's a lot of guidelines, obviously, on Google on how you write articles that get picked up in SEO. So you can just Google about that. But basically, that obviously the better written, well researched articles you write, the more the better it ranks. Basically, is short. And what else was I going to say about that? I think we'll do. I'll just make up a competition on the spot.
Well, remember, they don't necessarily have access to it yet, so we might want to.
Okay, I'll hold back. I was gonna say we will come the new year run a run an article competition. But obviously, you can still write articles.
Yeah, what we want to do is
You can write articles today in preparation for
yes. So if you're interested in everything we're talking about, like get Energy for Life now, go through the course, get qualified, get access to all of this stuff, because yes, we're going to start doing things like these article competitions, and this is like friendly stuff, but we're going to make it
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. Well,
right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll give out some prizes to get the ball rolling, but obviously the end advantage is it gets you clients. I mean, that's the real reason to do it.
Exactly. And this is the same thing. It's like it becomes not a hard sell, because when you get somebody to land on your article, you are basically showing your expertise. They come to trust you before they've even called you. So it like builds this really important relationship, and makes it much easier, not just to close it, but to make them confident in you as a practitioner from day one. So that's why I love articles or content marketing in general, because it's a completely different game when people are coming to you already sold on what you can do for them.
Yeah. The stuff about the question about calendars. Yeah, that's on the coding list to link it into the Google and iCalendar suite, etc. It doesn't do it right now, but I know Dave's tackling that.
And shop prices, yes. Can there be other currencies? Yeah, we'll have to look at that. I don't know how that works. We'll have to look into that.
Well, there's definitely euros, Australian dollars, and US dollars.
Yeah.
We don't have currencies in countries we don't have logistics in.
Right.
Anyway, will there be another national
conference? What do you think, Barry?
Yeah, of course. No, we're basically committing to them to one a year for. I'll commit to the next decade. I don't know what will happen after that. We can commit to it. Can we commit to a decade, Steve?
How about we commit to 2020?
We'll commit to 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. We think so much is going to be happening. It'll be hard not to have them going forward. But
basically, really big releases we obviously hold back for that year. And on the last few, I mean, we used to do yearly or bi-yearly, probably more truthfully. Obviously, because of the move from California to Florida, and there was a 3-year gap because of all of that. But obviously, things are all on the straight and narrow in one place. So yeah, back to a more normal, regular annual schedule.
Yeah, to answer somebody's question on how much the price will increase, I can't say exactly, because it will vary from region to region, and that's why we talked about check with your local region. I actually don't know the pricing in Europe and Australia right now. Johanna would know that, but let's say it's going to go.
That's a US question.
It's going to go up substantially. It's going to go up about 3 times higher than it is right now in the US, and the reason is
what is
E4L. Somebody's asking.
E4L, I thought
going up.
It might be about the system.
No, they're saying the price for they're asking, the email said the price will increase after 12/31. How much? So it's going to go up about 3 times in the United States. And the reason we have it so low right now is just to give everybody an opportunity who didn't attend to the conference to get it at more the price that the people at the conference paid, right? So we wanted to equalize everything for you. So we feel that the price is here. If I can get it on the camera, the price is here, should be here. We're starting out here just to give everybody a chance to get in, but we want to make sure that you understand, we think the value is much, much higher, because once you've bought it, there is no ongoing cost, and yet there are ongoing benefits for as long as you use the system. So we hope that you're going to find it.
Yeah, I guess for example, create obviously if you paid to build a website that quality, God knows, it'd be like 50 grand. But
yeah. And what would you? I mean, just to have somebody write a book for you. I know, because I used to write books for people, and you're talking easily $20,000 to have somebody come in, learn what NES is all about, and write that for you. So the lead magnet that you're going to be able to give away to people, and the fact that when they sign up for that lead magnet, they're going to get follow-up emails automatically sent to them, trying to remind them about reading the book and checking out your services, and like all these things that are marketing tools that you don't have to think about and that you probably don't want to think about unless you just love marketing. That's why we think this is, a super good value. We hope that a lot of people will find, that it's going to help boost their business for them.
Perfect. All right.
I'm going to read a couple questions here.
Okay. Well, I guess the other thing, there's payments and scheduling. The payment one, I mean, it's an interesting one. But basically, if you don't have a merchant, well, it's not really about whether you have a merchant account or not. It's just all to do with the philosophy of making one sort of easy flow. So from a user experience, they're dropping into your website. They can basically schedule the appointment with you, and they can pay for the consultation, the scan out for the 6-month program, etc. It just makes it easy. So that's why we're doing the payment side. I think we already mentioned scheduling.
I like too the fact that, look, infoceuticals are built into the program, so there's no need at the end of a consultation to convince somebody that they should buy infoceuticals, or for them, you don't have to worry about talking shop at that time. You're just giving them the thing that they've already committed to, and you can give them this thing that they're gonna need as part of the program. So it's just one less thing. I know a lot of people at the end of the program, at the end of the scan, don't want to sit and talk about money, and in this case, you don't have to. And it's just one thing as a practitioner that I think is helpful.
Cool. What else are we going to talk about? There's like messaging, so you can message between the client and itself, which is pretty cool. And video conferencing. Again, I think this comes into that whole thing that you were talking about earlier. Like you'd have to pay extra for scheduling, but it's just really super inconvenient if you're like having to use a separate Zoom account or Skype account. And you also got, and then you're emailing them the link or your Skype handle, and then, you know what I mean? And then people don't know how to use Zoom, or they haven't got Skype installed, or, and then they phone you, and then I don't know, there's all that rubbish that always goes on with that stuff. So basically, to eliminate all of that, you can just directly have the video conferencing right through their progressive web app, and all done at the touch of a button. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. Messaging, same sort of thing, so basically all your messages between you and your client are all in one nice, neat place within the system, and you have to give them out your cell number and have texting relationships and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Anything else you should say?
I'm just going to answer a couple questions I'm seeing here. So regarding Australia and compliance, we did send out an email recently. We went through TGA review, and everything is good with the TGA here, right, Harry? So we sent out information about how to be compliant, so we can't really advise you on the specifics of what maybe what's on your website. So you'll just have to look at what we sent out and check out some of that information.
I don't mind if you can email us your site, and we can probably see it. I mean, basically, I'm sure we'd be able to work it out. But basically, it's like any regulatory authority, really. But the TG, I'm trying to remember exactly what that letter said off the top of my head.
They are pretty persnickety. Like they want you to say almost nothing, and
mainly the TGA. So where the basically what happened in Australia, someone somewhere started off a TGA investigation into bioresonance, and we were one of 200 companies that they looked at. There was a whole back and forth, and we sent them like 200 pages of Gumph, and anyway, they basically, in the end, they basically said we were all in compliance, all good. And then they asked, if we would also just inform everyone else. But the main thing that they're really after is bioresonance, which actually is not NES. So that is all good. But I don't know if you've got any bioresonance type language, but I would avoid that. And what else? Yeah, I mean, it's just all the normal stuff of don't have any disease claims and all that sort of stuff. I mean, if you've got any of that stuff, that's probably why they're saying you're not in compliance. But generally, it's pretty easy to fix. You just delete out the. You can also ask them. I mean, you can. I mean, that's what we did. We just asked them, well, what do you not like on our website? And then they point out the line or the word, and okay, gone. It's deleted the next day. So yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about these things. We've been through. I've been through, God knows, a whole bunch in Europe, in Canada, in Australia, in the States, multiple times over 17 years. And it's not as frightening as it seems. It seems frightening, but it actually isn't that bad. And you just ask them, and then you mod it. There's just some word or some phrase they don't like, and you delete it, and they move on. They'll probably never look at your site for the rest of existence, and then a month later you can write something else. So I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yep.
Just don't make too many claims on your blogs, please.
Yeah, well, it's actually part of our terms and conditions. Like, you have to be compliant in the things that you write on your Energy4Life website, because if you're not, and we find out, we're going to have to just pull it. So yeah, just don't make disease claims. Don't say you're going to cure anything. Like, just talk about that you're supporting the body's natural ability to keep itself well. Like, keep on the support side of things. Like, you're supporting the body, right? So,
well, we will write some guidelines for that for sure.
Yeah. Current price of the program for practitioners. Please check your.
Yeah, the Energy4Life website is totally fine. Yeah. Yeah, that basically we went through with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah. Yes. What is the current price of the program? If you just check your portal and go into the shop, and then based on your region, you'll be able to see the pricing. Any purchase questions, please just check with sales on that. Reach out to support, and they can talk to the sales team and figure that out. Is the printout book available? Oh, no, we are working on printing, and it could take several weeks, especially with the holidays, to get it printed. So apologies. What we had to do is we went through a process of finding somebody who could also do fulfillment for us. So that means that books will be, as somebody orders a printed book, it will be shipped out on our behalf very quickly for you. So that's why they're not ready yet, but they will be in the next month or so. But the digital version is available. Energy4Life is used. Okay. Yeah. That's all the questions I see, Harry.
Cool. Yeah, we're good. I don't know, mate. I mean, I guess the only thing we didn't cover is wrapping up the, I guess why an Energy4Life program, meaning that, well, it's just yeah. So when you have a client, then the model of like month to month, basically is not generally as good as if someone commits to you for 6 months, because in 6 months, you can get the health back. So you've got the time to do it, and they're obviously being educated and all the stuff from the 26 modules, and obviously the pharmaceuticals have time to unpeel all the layers and do their thing too. And obviously you've got 6 sessions to coach them back to better health. So yeah. Anyway, so basically, and also, well, again, a lot of the top practitioners, they've basically learned and tested all these different ways, and basically it works out far better, and you end up with way more committed clients, when they commit to a 6-month program. So that's basically the reason that we've done all that. So I think I think we are actually going to have the flexibility where they can just do. Do we have the flexibility already? The one-on-ones,
The one-on-one. Oh,
consultations.
so yes, without the 6-month course, unless the person is done with the 6-month course, but they won't get. So we have the one-on-one option without 6-month course. So if they've already done the 6-month course and they have
Oh,
lifetime
right.
access,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
So yeah, we have answers for when they're done with the 6-month course.
And also if they want, and if they just want a consultation without committing to 6 months at that point. Yeah. Got it.
Hmm.
I should remember.
Purchase, or does it come when you buy the program? The E4L book, the hard copy, is something that can be purchased, but what we're doing is we're only asking people to cover shipping and handling, and then we will ship them the book. So they not need to buy the book itself. So normally you buy a book like this for $12 and then pay a couple dollars shipping, right? So we're just gonna have shipping and handling covered, and we will ship them the book. And that's also how you're able to either gift it to other people, or your clients can gift it to other people. If they want to gift the physical book, they can, just by covering that shipping and handling. But again, that's once the books are printed and we have that tech in place. At the moment, it's just a digital giveaway.
Yeah. And that's for the USA. It'll take longer in other countries for that.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I can order for myself, not on the portal. You can order for yourself once we have the printed copies. Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
I think
All right. Well,
that is.
I think that's all good. Well, yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. And I say, well, it's exciting. It's exciting for both me and Steve and the company. And we hope you all love Energy4Life.
Yeah, don't forget, Practitioner Tips and Tools is your best friend right now on all this stuff. Go check it out. All right, after 6 months.
There you go. It's your best friend.
Yes, after 6 months, the client will still have access to the course. They have it for life as long as they're
because it's called Energy4Life.
For life. And to be honest, one thing we've talked about is that it is actually such an in-depth course. It could easily take them 2 years really to go through it. And even if they went through in 6 months, they could go through it over and over and over and always get new things out of it.
Oh yeah, and you never know when you'll circle back to these things.
Exactly.
Health
It's
is
totally different the next time you go through it, right?
Thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you. I guess we will go and have our dinner.
Yes, please. All right. You guys have a great night.
All
right. Bye-bye.
I was going to tell everyone a secret Steve thing.
Oh, should I stop the streaming before you tell the secret?
No. Steve takes the skin off his chicken when he comes for dinner.
And Harry eats it. So
I eat it. So there's a little secret.
You never knew.
That no one ever knew. It's so random.
Have a good night.
Good night. Cool.